Hey everyone, Mr. Messiah here. This is a lap guide for the new lap time challenge taking place at Lake Louise Short in Reverse with the Toyota GR Corolla. To access this lap time challenge, go over to sport mode, so make sure you have menu book number 9 completed and you'll be able to access the online time challenge. So go ahead and click on that. Click on online time challenge, which is towards the middle of the screen, and you'll see the current lap time challenge is being held. So this lap time challenge goes on until the end of April 23rd, 2025, where we're in a stock Toyota GR Corolla, and no, you cannot tune your car, and we're on the snow tires. Your goal is to get within the 3% time range of the world record time when the event ends, as that is when your lap time gets counted, and hopefully you'll be able to get the 2 million credits. I do have my in-game replay in the description down below if you want to check that out. And as we're about to get started with the lap guide, I do want to note that I did this lap with the controller sensitivity at 10. And this is all about controlling your slides with a little bit of throttle control and your steering control, because it's really easy to drag out a slide a little too much, which will cost you a bit of speed, which will cost you a lot of time. Because like here, even just a little bit too much sliding can cost you quite a bit of time. You're only braking for turn number 1, which is just up ahead. Now, normally you shift up when the shift bar starts to blink, bring yourself towards the right, and your first and only braking zone is before the solid pit line on the left ends. So I'll highlight it right here where it's a bit easier to see the entire pit line. You're braking just before ends, and I'll show you exactly where I start to brake, which is right about here. So use all of your braking power, and you're going to start to turn in about a second later. So where the boulder on the right is sticking out, that's where you start to turn in, which is right around here. Go down to 4th gear and start to turn in, and you can wait a little bit more before shifting down to 3rd gear. Let go of the brakes and start to ease on the throttle to control your sliding as you go through turn number 1. And be careful right here. You can actually see the ghost car going through it. There is a dip, so you don't want to counter steer right here, otherwise you're going to have a bad ending. So once you go over that dip, go ahead and fully accelerate your way out, bringing yourself all the way to the right. You can hit those green bars, but they do slow you down, so try not to hit too many of them. And be careful about going out a bit too much to the right, because this car has a big hitbox and it's really easy to hit the wall on the right. Now, just as you're about to go under this red structure, that's where you want to open up just a little bit and then bring yourself in for the upcoming right turn. You're going to go through this part flat out, bringing yourself as close as you can to the wall on the right. Shift up to 5th gear. You're going to go through this left turn flat out, and you're going to turn in before the shadow ends. So start to turn in towards the left right here. So this is well before the structure up ahead. So go through this left turn flat out, and I even counter steer just a little bit to the right to make sure I don't hit the wall that is right in front of me. And I'm going to use this green board on the left as my cue to turn in. So once I approach this board on the left, which you'll see in just a moment, I'm going to turn in all the way to the right, let go of the throttle for a really brief moment, shift down to 4th gear, and once the car is starting to slide in towards the right, I fully start to accelerate my way through this turn. If you time this just right, you'll barely touch the inner part of this turn, so like that little hilly part, but the car should still remain fully controllable. Then stick all the way to the left for this left turn. So kind of doing what you just did with the previous turn, where you hit a bit of the hilly part of this turn, but the car remains fully controllable. And just making sure that the car doesn't slide out too much so you can maintain your speed. Now for this final turn, I'm starting to turn in before, or well before, the blue and yellow sign on the right end. So I start to turn in here, maintaining full throttle, staying on 4th gear, and just trying not to hit those bars. You can hit those bars, but they do slow you down, so try not to hit too many of them. And be mindful of your steering input, because too much steering input through this final turn can kill your momentum. you shave off too much speed, which means that you'll lose quite a bit of time. But try to straighten up your car as soon as you can, trying to use as little steering input as possible to maintain your speed, and just make sure you don't clip the wall on the right as you exit the final turn. And let's go through this again, but this time I will not stop the video. So we'll start off in chase cam. Gonna go through the final turn at first, just to show you how I approached the final turn as I was getting ready to start my best lap. So I'm gonna go ahead and just carefully slide on out. Gonna shift up to 5th gear shortly after the shift bar on the bottom of the screen starts to blink. Stay towards the right, look for the pit outline on the left, brake just before it ends. This is the only time I'll be braking here at Lake Louise Short Reverse. Down to 3rd gear, using a little bit of throttle control to control my sliding, going out all the way to the right, taking advantage of the banking of this turn while trying not to hit the wall on the right. Go up to 4th gear, open up a little bit for this right turn coming up, which will set me up for this left turn. Shift up to 5th gear, go through this part flat out, down to 4th gear, let go of the throttle for a really brief moment and turn in, and then go through the rest of this flat out. Carefully bring yourself towards the right, turn in right about here before the blue and yellow signs end. Going through this part flat out, controlling your steering input to try to maintain your momentum. And in a bit we'll go through this one more time, but this time we will be in bumper cam. So this is for the bumper cam homies out there, and it should start in just a moment right about now. So again, going through the final turn, flat out and trying to control my steering input, trying to be careful about it, as turning in just a little bit too much can cause you quite a bit of speed, which will hurt your momentum. So go ahead and stay towards the right side of the track, look for the pit outline on the left as you're braking just before it ends, which is going to be right about here. Down to 4th gear, down to 3rd gear, use a little bit of throttle control to control your sliding, and you can slide all the way out to the right. You can even take advantage of the banking of the turn right here. Now open up just a little bit towards the middle of the track so you can go through this right turn flat out, which will set you up for this left turn. Take it flat out, use a little bit of counter steering, stay towards the left, let go of the throttle for a really brief moment, down to 4th gear and turn in. If you do it just right, you'll be able to clip the little hilly parts of those 2 turns and keep going flat out. Turn in before the blue and yellow signs end. Going through the final turn flat out, controlling your steering input or being mindful of your steering input to make sure that you can maintain your momentum, which can potentially mean that you'll shave off a lot more time. And with this, I was able to get a 101.380. Hopefully this lap guide helps you out, and if you like this video, you can press the like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. But that is all for me. Good luck with this lap time challenge, because this one's a really tough cookie. It took me a while to get a really good idea about how to do this lap time challenge. You can even see the live stream where I took a crack at it, and yeah, I was I was having the time of all time there. But that's all for me. This is Mr. MCA telling you to support your VTuber Oshi, and I'll see you in the next video.